Hi everybody, my name is Katie, and it's very nice to meet you. This is going to be the first entry in my YouTube video blog, my vlog, about my study abroad year in Japan. And I'm going to be studying in Hokkaido in Japan. It's a year-long program, and all my classes will be taught in English, but I will be studying Japanese as I'm there. So I thought I'd start this blog because I really want to help other students who either want to do this or are doing this too. I want to be able to inform my family and my friends of the stuff that I've been doing, show pictures and videos and stuff, and just kind of let other people know what's going on in my life. This has been a dream of mine for a while to do this, to study abroad, particularly in Japan, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot harder than I even expect at this point. There's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations. I'm going to get lonely. Making friends is going to be a challenge, fitting in, learning the language, but there's also going to be a lot of fun stuff too, and I want to let everybody know about why you should study abroad and how you can do it. So every week, hopefully, I'm going to post one of these. I'm pretty well known among my acquaintances for being very bad at keeping up with things that I start, so we'll see about that. But my plan is once a week, and every week I'm gonna try to answer questions. So if anybody has any questions about either what I'm doing or how you can do something that I've done or anything, any kind of question, I will pick and choose. So if there's anything inappropriate, of course I'm not going to answer that, but if it's an honest question, I will answer it in the next video, and I'll try to give you guys advice if you want, etc., etc. So this first video is going to be about applying to study abroad. For me, my program is through my university, so all the applications and stuff was done through a representative at my school, through the study abroad coordinator person. I had to write an essay talking about why I wanted to do this and showing my interest level and my passion and stuff like that. I had to get recommendations, 2 recommendations. I got one from one Japanese professor because, obviously it's a study abroad in Japan, so I needed some good hype about my Japanese skills and my dedication to that language, and from a professor who knows me really well. She's actually an English professor, but she knows my character, she knows my personality, and she knows my passion, so yeah, so they ended up being really good choices for me. I also had to give an example of my Japanese writing skills, so I had, they basically said, submit anything that you've written for a class, or anything you've written in Japanese. And for me, I'm still at a really low level of the language, so I hadn't written anything for a class, except for a dictation kind of thing, somebody says, Mr. Tanaka wants to write an email to Mr. Ono, please, blah 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 blah. Write it down, write down what I'm saying. And I didn't feel like that counted, so I basically rewrote my essay that I wrote in English about my passion and why I wanted to do this in Japanese. And that was a really ambitious decision. It took me a good 8 hours to try to translate that, and it was really badly written at first, so I had my friend, who is Japanese and speaks the language fluently, look over it for me and tell me when things didn't make any sense, and then she picked out the parts that were wrong, and then I corrected them myself over and over and over again until she said it was good. And I guess that ended up working really well. My teachers were really impressed, so woohoo! And then the last thing that I had to do to apply was an interview. And the coordinator of the study abroad blah 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 and the head of the Japanese program were there together against me. So it was the 2 of them sitting here and then me sitting here. No, it wasn't that intense, but we talked for 45 minutes in English and 15 minutes in Japanese. My Japanese was incredibly shabby, and they were both very confused because my writing had been much better than my speaking had been, and I think that really threw them off a little bit, and it worried them about me, and it worried me about my future, but I ended up getting in. I didn't get into the school that I applied for because they thought that my Japanese level wasn't quite up to par with what that school expected, and they also thought that the school they did end up picking for me was better suited for my needs and was something I would enjoy more, something I would have more support for, like a nice group of international people to sort of go along in the experience with, instead of the original one I applied for, which was more of a sort of pave your own way, do your own kind of thing school. So this has got a good support system. So I'm really actually thankful that they ended up sending me to this school instead of my original one, because I think it's gonna be awesome! So I got into that school. The way my school did it was they picked me for that program and then sent my application to the Japanese school, and then the Japanese school had to accept me, so I had to get accepted twice, which was super stressful, but you know, in the end I did get accepted, so that was great. After I got accepted, I had to send in a bunch of information, like some basic forms, filling out, you know, what kind of classes I wanted to take, what my information was, my job background, my family's job background, my family's financial stability or something like that, a health checkup with a chest x-ray, a bunch of stuff that the Japanese government wanted before they let me in. And then I just had to wait. And the waiting is the hardest part, I think, because you don't really have any guarantee on when you're gonna find out about anything, and that's really stressful. But luckily I had a few other people with me who were also applying for various Japanese study abroad programs and were also waiting, and we all kind of just panicked together a lot, so it was better to have support than to be by myself freaking out. Eventually, I got the info that I got into the program, and that was a happy, happy day. A few months later, I got some basic information about the various dorms I could apply for, and minor financial summaries. Like, it wasn't everything, it wasn't very detailed, but it was sort of a, like, well, the dorm will be between this much and this much, utilities between this much and this much, and here's what some students have said about how much they've spent on books and food and clothes and entertainment, blah blah blah. So sort of a basic rough outline of what I could expect to spend per month. And that really helped. And then I applied for my dorm. I sent them my flight information once I booked my flights, which I did on my own. I didn't have anybody helping me with that. That was just, you know, just do it and tell us when you're coming in. So now I bought my tickets. I did one way because that's easier than round trip, since I don't actually know when my school's going to be over yet. And it was also, like, it's not really that big of a price difference in the end. So I went with one-way tickets. I sent them that information, and then another month or two later, I got the email back from them telling me where my dorm is going to be, and some details about some scholarships I got, etc., etc. So now, with exactly a week to go, I finally have all my information. I finally got my visa back. That was pretty complicated too, so if you guys have questions about that, I can do another blog about getting a visa. So yeah, finally I have all my stuff and I'm set to go. Except for packing. That's another story. Gotta get started on the packing. And I guess the only other thing I have to talk about in this video is scholarships. As far as scholarships go, apply for them all. Seriously, all of them. Anything you find, even if you don't think you're applicable, apply for it. I mean, it takes a lot of time, and you are gonna have to decide what your priorities are. So, like, if you think you're more likely to get one, and you don't think you have enough time to apply for that one and this other one that you don't think you're as likely to get, obviously apply for the one that you think you're gonna get, because there's only so much time in a day, you have a bunch of deadlines, and you need to pick your battles, I guess. But if you have enough time, apply for everything. Don't let yourself take too many breaks before the scholarship deadlines, because I know it's stressful, believe me, I know, it's a pain in the butt and it sucks, but it's totally worth it. I said that I had a lot of friends with me during this time period who were going through the same thing, and this is one of the times when it was the most important. My roommate was also applying to study abroad, and so we spent, I don't know, 2-3 weeks of essentially sleepless nights, like maybe 2 or 3 hours a night, on top of all of our homework and stuff like that, just applying for scholarships, searching for scholarships, stressing out over scholarships, crying about scholarships, and it was worth it, because if I didn't have her doing that with me, I don't know if I would have had the motivation, but with her there doing that together with me, I ended up applying for, I don't know, 20 plus different scholarships, and I didn't get that many of them. I got one from my school's like study abroad program. I got one from my school's, I think it was like the humanities or the arts and sciences program, wherever, I don't know. I should know this, shouldn't I? But I got one big one from the Japanese government. It's called the JASO, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a monthly stipend, and they pay you once a month enough to cover like your dorm and your utilities and probably books and food too. So they're basically paying me to live there so that I don't have to worry about working. I can just focus on school. So that's awesome. And that required writing an essay and showing them that I really would make good use of my study abroad and that I wouldn't just be doing it to go have fun in Japan and like go party all the time and get drunk and, you know, find a boyfriend and stuff. Like, I'm going to Japan to study Japanese and I'm going to make Japanese a part of my life. And because of that, I ended up getting that awesome scholarship, and with my scholarships and my loans, I ended up having this whole thing paid for, basically. I've been saving money all summer, working a part-time job, like a lot, to try to save up money so I can do fun things, like go to concerts and travel around Tokyo and Osaka and Kyoto and stuff during my breaks, and, you know, go out to eat with friends, go to karaoke with friends, do a lot of fun stuff. But that's coming from my personal money, and I never thought this would be possible. Like, I thought that I was gonna have to take out so many more loans than I did, and this is the first time in my life I've been financially covered for anything, so it's totally worth it to spend all of your free time, all of your sleeping time, your eating time. Just apply while you're eating. It's fine, it works. You'll get scholarships. Just be honest and be passionate and show them that you're really serious about wanting to study abroad. I mean, if you want to study abroad just, you know, for funsies and stuff, then sure, do it. Like, I'm not saying don't. And you'll probably have a great experience too. But if you're studying abroad to actually study the culture you're going to, you can really get a lot of money out of people because of that. On another note regarding money, there are a lot of other options. So instead of just scholarships and loans and saving up money while working, there's some websites out there that you can set up your own page, and people can, like anonymous people or people you know, can donate money to your cause. One in particular that I have a website for, or I have an account with, is called GoFundMe.com. And on GoFundMe, my address is actually right here. It's GoFundMe.com/KatieInJapan. With GoFundMe, you set up your account and you kind of write a little bio and, you know, what your purpose is, what you're doing. You put a picture on there and you set a goal amount of money. And then people can find your page randomly. You send the link to everyone you know and everyone you don't know, and hopefully, you know, enough people are going to donate money that you'll reach your goal. So far, I only have, you know, 1 or 2 donations from friends, and I'm really grateful for that. I love them. I love people giving me money. But I still, you know, I'm still sending it to people, trying to get as many donations as possible. If any of you wanna send me a couple of bucks, I would not say no. I would very much appreciate it. Basically everything I'm earning from this website is what's going to be going towards my traveling and like seeing the sights of Japan while I'm there, and getting to go to like various hot springs, and like traveling around Hokkaido and seeing like internationally acclaimed World Heritage sites and stuff that I think I'll only be able to do this year. So I have a full list on my page of stuff that I want to do, and if you feel it in your heart and you want to, you know, just give me a little gift, I would really appreciate it. I would love it. And yeah, that's how I'm trying to earn some extra money, and that's my advice to you too. You could totally do that. I know a friend who used this website for his study abroad, and he got upwards of $300 from it. So, I mean, anything helps, anything. Now that I've talked about money, I think that's pretty much it for the first one, the first video. I talked about applying to study abroad, and how you pay to study abroad. I don't know if I'm very good at talking about things and if you gained anything from this video, but if you did, if you liked it, then please, like the video, comment if you have anything to say, if you have any questions. Please ask me. I am trying to figure out how to pack for an entire year of my life with a 2-suitcase limit. And I only own 1 suitcase, so 1 suitcase limit. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm kind of panicking about packing, but it's not that big a deal because a week from today I'll be gone, so woohoo! So thank you for watching. I will be in Japan next week. It'll be updates on what's going on, what I've done so far, the flight process, and what I have packed, what I ended up deciding to pack. So let's all look forward to that. Woo! Yeah! So ask questions, please. Ask me questions and we'll get this vlog started. I mean, vlog. Vlog. I'm vlogging. I'm a vlogger. Oh, by the way, I am actually an aspiring singer, if you didn't, know me from my other YouTube account. My other account is called Katie Bloop, and I sing Japanese pop songs on there, so if you like J-pop, then check me out. If not, that's cool. Do your own thing. Like your own music. We're all individuals. Yeah. Okay. Bye.